Welcome to DMV Spotlight on ESPN 630, the sports capital, where we shine a light on local stories from the District, Maryland, and Virginia to inform, enlighten, and inspire you. I'm Barbara Britt, and I'm very delighted to welcome onto DMV Spotlight this morning my two guests, Deborah Topsick, she's the Marketing Director at National Harbor, and Leslie Creedon, the President and CEO of Make-A-Wish. And you might be wondering how these two got together. Well, we're going to find that out today. But where else could you find a wonderful, delicious fundraiser for Make-A-Wish and a fantastic venue at National Harbor, combining National Burger Week and granting wishes for critically ill children right here in the DMV. So thank you, ladies, both of you, for joining me this morning on DMV Spotlight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, Leslie, I wanted to start and just, I know some people are familiar with Make-A-Wish, and I know that you specifically in the Mid-Atlantic area, but tell us about Make-A-Wish. Give us a little history, go back in time for us, how it came together and how it works.
Sure. Well, Make-A-Wish nationally started 40 years ago when a little boy in Arizona by the name of Chris Gracious was facing a very terminal diagnosis for his leukemia, and a group of state troopers came together to make him an honorary police officer for the day. And that news caught fire in the national media. And here in Bethesda, actually, there was a small group of women who heard the story and said, we want to do the same thing for kids here. And so we have been granting wishes to children with critical illnesses, not just terminal illnesses, for 36 years. And a few months ago celebrated the granting of our 10,000th wish in Maryland, D.C., and Northern Virginia.
That is a fantastic milestone. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And for people who aren't sure how that happens, I mean, obviously there have to be a lot of people and players behind the scenes who can help grant this wish for a child.
That's right. We have about 500 volunteers all across our territory who are our wish granters. They go out and meet with the families, help the child envision their one true wish, and put all the parts and pieces together with our very small team. And then we also have extremely close relationships with hospitals, doctors, social workers, who also help us figure out who those children are that qualify for a wish and make sure that their wishes are medically acceptable and something that's really going to change the course of their treatment for the better.
That's fascinating. I'm thinking of that one scene in Aladdin where he finds out that he has 3 wishes, and it makes you think, what would I wish for?
That's right, Barbara. It's hard. Do you know what your one true wish would be?
I have so many that have already been granted, I must say. I
nice.
really have. But you bring up some really good points. What are some of those qualifying things? That's got to be difficult for the organization to decide.
So our wishes typically fall in 5 big categories, the biggest being what we call to go. So a child who wants to travel someplace, to Disney, Hawaii, children who want to have something. It could be a PlayStation, or for children with physical disabilities, things like a handicapped accessible recreational vehicle. To meet, I want to meet a Washington sports player. I want to meet a music celebrity, a movie star. To be, I want to be a sports team captain. I want to be a mermaid. And then more and more we have kids who want to give their wish back and pay it forward to people who have supported them through their treatment, to their communities, to people in other countries, in orphanages, for example. Those are the stories that, really inspire me, especially when they're coming from kids as young as 3 and 4 years old.
Oh, okay. I think I'm going to cry right now. No crying
They're
in radio.
happy tears.
Oh, that is incredible. So you have critically ill children who have an opportunity to have a wish, and
That's
they're
right.
saying, actually, I'd rather give it to another child.
Yes.
I don't know any children like that. I'm not familiar with that. Or hardly any adults, that's for sure. That is absolutely amazing. So I want to just circle over here for a second to Deborah Topsick. She's the marketing director at National Harbor. Now, how did you get together with Leslie and with Make-A-Wish, and tell us about this event that's happening all this week?
Definitely. So it is September 30th through October 6th, so a couple days down the road, is our Burger Week. And we really wanted to pair it with a charity. And we have done something with Make-A-Wish in previous years, but we just looked at local charities and we wanted something different we haven't done in a little while. And, anything done with children, you can't go wrong. It always gives you that warm fuzzies.
That is wonderful. So what do people who are coming to National Harbor starting on Monday the 30th, and it goes through the 6th, so we're obviously talking about burgers. So how does this whole we already like this fundraiser. It's a great fundraiser. We're all in favor. How does it work?
So we have 10 restaurants that are participating. So if you visit nationalharbor.com/Burger Week, you can see which restaurants are participating. You order one of the burgers that are on the Burger Week menu, and depending on the restaurant, either from 5 to 20% will be donated to Make-A-Wish.
That is fantastic.
Yes. So you get to eat well and give well. So you can't go wrong with that.
And I noticed that all the burgers are $10.
Yep.
Yes. That's a good deal.
It is. Well, I will say, don't get too freaked out. McDonald's
still
is a $5 burger.
I did notice that.
It's a $5 burger. And then we have Elevation Burger that you can do a $5 burger, or you can do a meal packet with that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, so, it gets everyone involved and it's just a happy cause. So. Yeah.
And this is the first time that you guys have worked together for this event.
This is our first Burger Week. We've never done a Burger Week before. We've done Restaurant Week. We always do Restaurant Week in the winter. But we decided kind of in this fall, summer's over. We're kind of, waiting for holidays and all those other stuff to come. And why not a great time to it's still warm outside. We have great alfresco dining. So come out and enjoy a burger on one of our patios.
It is a beautiful space.
Yes.
And I walk people through it. If they haven't yet gone down there, walk us through, you're along the water, the Ferris wheel, the different levels.
We have 1.2 miles of shoreline, and we're only 11 years old, so it's kind of crazy, and we're right on the Beltway, right on 495, 95,
and that it wasn't. It's still new to me.
And it's weird though that area was never developed. That to me seems so crazy, right on the Beltway and not developed. We're 350 acres, so that goes up to Tanger, and it goes up to MGM, and then Topgolf, and all that area. So 350 acres is very large, and it's one development. It's with Peterson Companies as the developer. But we come down, the waterfront district is where most of the restaurants are that are doing for Burger Week. And we have restaurants on the shore, so on the shoreline there. Redstone, which I brought you some treats from Redstone today, highly recommend. It is actually, they have a patio that is pretty much on the water. It kind of just veers right off onto the water. It's the closest waterfront dining you're going to get anywhere. Great location. We also have the best sunsets in the DMV. So I think you've been to National Harbor, but they're unobstructed. They like to say it sets right to the left of the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. And it is the best place. And we've had some great sunsets recently. Just to enjoy your burger, go for a good cause, and then watch an amazing sunset.
That is so fun. And I know there's other really fun things to do there as well. I mean, obviously the Ferris wheel, that's a biggie.
The Capitol Wheel, 180 feet above the Potomac River.
You have to be a little brave.
No, it goes really slow. It's enclosed. So in the winter, it's heated, and in the summer, it's air conditioned, so it always feels good.
And I can't fall out.
And you won't fall out. I promise you, you won't fall out. Water taxis, we're also talking about water taxis. If you're coming from the wharf or from DC, take that from Alexandria. It's just a great way to be on the water and come to National Harbor.
It starts your relaxing day a little early when you get on the water taxi.
Definitely.
And I didn't realize you could rent kayaks and stand-up paddleboards.
Yeah, boating in DC is still going on. I mean, heck, it's still hot. We're still in the 90s.
So they haven't shut it down yet?
No.
Okay.
So you can rent a dragon or a swan and do a little pedal boating, or you can do the SUP, the stand-up, kayaking, and it's just a great area to be out and about. You don't get as much traffic as you do if if you're going up the river. So it's more relaxing, and you're not dodging boats and all that kind of
And
stuff.
you're wearing your life jacket.
And you are wearing a life jacket.
so
You are
glad.
correct. You are correct. Yes.
That
But there's
is-
something for all ages at National Harbor, and we see that a lot, is the multi-generations of families that come out.
Well, and that's a good lead into my question, because I notice you also have a lot of movies there.
Oh, yes.
And that's going to continue into the cooler weather.
It goes into the 30th, September 30th. We have movies Thursday night, and then we'll have Dumbo this Sunday. But once the holidays do pick up, so we do a Harbor Halloween on October 27th with the movie Hocus Pocus, fan favorite. And then every Saturday starting November 16th, we're going to have holiday movies.
Fun.
And fireworks on Saturday nights. So Saturday movies and then Saturday night fireworks.
Fun.
So
I do too. I just love living in this area.
Yeah.
So I'm just introducing my guest today on DMV Spotlight on ESPN 630, the sports capital. I'm speaking with Deborah Topsick. She's the marketing director at National Harbor. You can tell she is well suited for her job. And Leslie Creedon, the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish. Leslie, I want to just ask you, Make-A-Wish is pretty personal to you.
It is.
Isn't it?
It
You're
is.
actually a Wish mom, and it is your son, Jack.
That's
Is
right.
that right?
That's right.
Can you tell us about his story?
Sure. So my son Jack was diagnosed with leukemia 4 years ago when he was in the 5th grade.
Okay, hold on. Just
Yeah.
hold up one second. I can't
Life
brush.
changes in a minute.
I can't brush over that. Walk us through that.
Oh boy.
I mean, how did you even know?
How did I know? So for a couple of weeks, we were seeing that he had bruises on different parts of his body, areas that you typically don't get bruises from a fall or something like that. I honestly thought he was maybe getting bullied at school. So we had all eyes on him. And then during a teacher work day, I was home with him. And from the time he got up in the morning to the time he went to bed, his whole trunk turned black and blue. So the next morning, I took him to the pediatrician. They said, we can get a blood test now or take a blood test and we'll find out the results in a week. I'm like, well, let's just do it now. And within 2 hours, we were inpatient at Fairfax Hospital with a leukemia diagnosis. And like I said, it's your life changes in an instant. In an instant.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And how he was 5th grade, so how old?
So he was 11 years old at the time.
Did
Yeah.
he know? How did he deal with that?
We dropped him off at school after the blood test, and as I was talking to the doctor on one phone, my office phone was ringing with the school nurse saying, "Your son is bleeding." They couldn't stop the bleeding where he had his blood test, and I think at that age, you surround yourself with positive people, and you just keep fighting. And within 48 hours of being inpatient, our doctor told us that we qualify for a wish and that there is a group of people right here in our own backyard, Make-A-Wish, that want to relieve your suffering, give you something to look forward to. And I think what's really special about a wish in these conditions is that, Jack and children like him have no control over what's happening in their lives. I mean, no control.
It's happening to them.
It's happening to them.
And to their body.
They have no choice. And with a wish, that's the one thing that is 100% in the control of that child.
They
it's
get
what
to
they
say.
want.
Okay.
And that's very special at that time.
Did you work with Make-A-Wish at that
I
time,
did
Leslie?
not. I didn't work with Make-A-Wish. He formulated his wish, and his wish, he had a travel wish to go, but then he had all sorts of complications, and we actually had to have a stem cell transplant. So he wasn't able to travel for almost a year after his transplant. So during that time, not even knowing I was a wish mom, I interviewed with a headhunter and got the job a year and a half ago. And then just over a year ago, my family went on a wish. So a wish is also something not just for the child, but it's something that the whole family experiences.
That is so exciting. Jack wanted to go to the Maldives.
Yes.
I had to look that up.
Yes.
I'm just saying, so for those of us who are like me,
Yep.
this is from Google. The Maldives is a tropical nation in the Indian Ocean comprised of 26 ring-shaped atolls,
Which
which are like little
islands
islands,
surrounded by reefs.
and they're made up of thousands of coral.
Correct.
So now we all know. I'm probably a lot of smart people already knew. It's Barbara, you really need your brain. But anyway, how did he choose the Maldives? That's incredible to me.
He's always been very interested in marine biology from a young age. And he had read about the Maldives in National Geographic long before he was sick, and he had kept that issue. And he wanted to go and see the bioluminescent sea and the sea turtles. So when our wish-granting volunteers came to the house, he got out that dog-eared magazine, opened it up to a page of a hut over the water and said, "Can I really go here?" And they said, "Like you. Well, we don't know where that is, but yeah, we'll make that happen."
That is awesome. So now take us through that process as well, Leslie, because that means does Make-A-Wish pay for
Make-A-Wish
it?
does everything.
Do you go to the airline and say, "Can you give us a deal?" I mean, how much of that also happens? Because I'm sure that there are resorts, or there are certainly, police officers. We've seen,
Sure.
sports car drivers just saying, "Absolutely, I would love to do that."
Yes.
How does that all come together? Is it a combination?
So it's a combination of all of the above, but honestly, for most wishes, a lot of our ability to grant wishes in a timely manner comes down to cash support. So while airlines donate some miles, they're donating them to all 60 Make-A-Wish chapters across the country. While Disney may donate tickets, those are distributed to all of our other chapter colleagues as well. So, and when a sports person or a music celebrity donates their time, we still have to get the family there. We have to fly them there, put them up in a hotel, pay for their incidentals, pay for their transportation. If the child needs medical care, we take care of that as well, making sure they have a nurse that goes with them. And again, it doesn't matter your income, and it doesn't matter the size of your family. Everybody in that family participates in that wish. So in my son's case, and it was wonderful. I was working there, but our wish granting volunteers wouldn't let me have any involvement in my own wish. They wanted me and my family to experience as a wish family. I was picked up in a limousine. We were given a credit card for our food and expenses. They helped arrange a special outing for Jack when he was there so he could go snorkeling. Everything was taken care of. We did nothing. And that's what we try to do for our wish families, because when you have a child who is critically ill, the thought of having to do anything can be overwhelming. So we take care of all the details. And for us here in the Mid-Atlantic, an average wish costs us $10,000 in cash. And we have a lot of people who donate in kind, thank goodness. But for us to continue to grow and grant more wishes, fundraising and partnerships like what we're doing with National Harbor on Burger Week are extremely important.
And that's so exciting that you can work with them. And I know this is the first one, Deborah, that you have done, so you don't know, how much there will be raised. But you are familiar with the Washington area, and people here, I have to say, are very generous. They truly are.
That's right.
Definitely.
So that's exciting, and so we'll have to connect after the
We'll
fact.
give you a
and
post
you'll
recap. Yes.
have to give me a recap. I'm speaking today with Deborah Topsick. She's the marketing director at National Harbor, and Leslie Creedon, the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish, and also a Wish mom. And we're talking about National Burger Week at National Harbor, and it is a fundraiser, a delicious fundraiser for Make-A-Wish, so granting wishes for critically ill children. So your trip to the Maldives, I know that you told us, Leslie, that was your son's wish. Did he have fun?
Oh my gosh. It surpassed all expectations. It was amazing. And because we had to wait for him to be able to travel, he spent 2.5 years out of school and many, many months in a hospital bed in isolation. And thinking about that wish, researching that wish, looking at photos and reading about the Maldives, that really kept our family and him, most importantly, going, fighting the good fight. It gave him something to look forward to. It gave him inspiration. And again, like I said earlier, it gave him some control when his life was out of control.
That is awesome. Now, so you've been in this job now
for 18 months.
For 18 months.
Yes.
And so in that time, and obviously not betraying anybody's privacy or anything, but just are there some wishes that have sort of stuck out to you with other children?
Well, every wish is special.
Because it's their wish.
Because it's their wish.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, these children who are paying it forward, I think are very inspirational. I've seen children who have asked us to donate to Children's National Medical Center. We've had children who've wanted to have their movies made. Our 10,000th wish, we had a child's vision in his head made into a movie that premiered at the Uptown. That was absolutely incredible. About hundreds of people in the DC film community came together to make that happen. There are too many to count. And we, in the last 2 years, have granted on average 400 wishes annually. But for every wish that we grant, there's another child in the pipeline waiting for their wish to be granted.
And I was going to ask you, what is that process? Because I know there has to be criteria that Make-A-Wish uses, obviously. What is that criteria that it says, I can grant this person a wish, this child, this family doesn't necessarily qualify? That's got to be difficult.
It is, but we have a set of medical criteria that are standardized across Make-A-Wish America, so every child is treated equally. And and again, it's not a terminal illness, but we define them as critical or life-threatening illnesses. So, pediatric oncology, organ transplants, different neurological and respiratory issues, certain genetic disorders. And most of our referrals, the vast majority of our referrals, come from doctors and social workers, so they know that their children qualify. Although anybody can refer a child for a wish, and we'll check in with their doctors to make sure that they meet the standards.
Okay. And then you mentioned that when if a child is traveling and they do have a condition that requires medical care during their wish, that you provide that
we don't provide that. We'll provide the means for that family to take whatever medical care they need with them. Yes.
So that's, because that's got to be critical for them as well, for the mom and the dad, for their comfort level to have their critically ill child.
And for their enjoyment too, right? But this is respite for the parents. Trust me, I know. It's respite for the parents as well as the child, to give the parents an opportunity to take a break and to recharge and to focus on spending positive quality time with their child and children.
So after the fact, after the wish is granted, is there still that excitement, or is there a letdown? Oh, my wish is gone.
Oh my gosh, we have children who've had their wishes granted 20 and 30 years ago volunteering with us. We have 2 people on our staff who, one is a wish child from 20 years ago, one who's a wish sister. Once you're in the Make-A-Wish family, you're a wish family forever, and I don't think that excitement and those memories ever go away. I'm more proud of having Wish Mom on my business card than I am President and CEO.
That is so exciting. So, you obviously do other fundraisers as well throughout the year, but I also noticed on your website, if people have like air miles.
Yes, please.
Talk to us about that.
75% of our wishes involve travel. And so if you go to the Make-A-Wish website, it's literally 3 little clicks of the button and you can donate your airline miles to us, and it makes a huge, huge difference. It's our largest expense, and the more donations we can get of people's miles, instead of getting magazines you don't want or letting those miles expire, send them our way.
And they do expire, and it is good.
They
If you look
do.
at the calendar, you say it's not going to happen this year. Golly, what a wonderful way to do that. So I want to just circle back to Leslie here for a moment and just say, when you went to the restaurants at National Harbor to support National Burger Week for Make-A-Wish, what was the response from your restaurants?
We went to, everyone wanted to participate, I think, and hopefully they'll be out during restaurant week inside our restaurants and handing out information to our guests. And so they can learn more about it. I think it's an organization that a lot of people know, have heard the name, but not necessarily know all the details that Make-A-Wish does and the criteria as we were just talking about and things of that sort. So a lot of people are on board and excited about it and really do like that participation with the charity aspect.
So when people come down to National Harbor, is there a set time for National Burger Week at National Harbor?
Just as long as the restaurant's open, get your burger.
They can get their deal, and then the proceeds or the percentage from each restaurant will be tallied.
Definitely, yeah.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting. And are there other special events coming this week as well?
Just during Burger Week, that's what we have going on. But October does start breast cancer awareness, so we'll go pink for a few days during breast cancer awareness. And just we like to be observant, I think, of our community and who is in our community as well.
That is so exciting. That's wonderful. So, Leslie, if people are listening today and they're wondering if they qualify for someone in their life for Make-A-Wish, what do you want to say to them?
Please investigate it. It's a life-changing experience. You can go to our website, which is midatlantic.wish.org, and in the upper right-hand corner it says refer a child. So go on and please let us see if they qualify for a wish, and we can help that family out.
That's fantastic. And can I ask how your son is doing?
He's a freshman in high school. He's been back in school a year and a half, and he's doing great. Knock on wood. Yeah.
That is wonderful. Now that is a challenge for him to get back and then get caught up.
Yeah, we had to do homeschooling, which
stretches everyone.
Stretches
yes,
everyone.
He's a boy.
We only focused on the core subjects. Thank goodness I wasn't doing science experiments at home. But yeah, he's adjusting well and making up for lost time.
Is he still interested in marine biology?
Oh gosh, yes, yeah. And but at this age, he's also getting exposed to so many other things. Who knows where his life will take him?
That is so exciting. And do you feel like these Wish families, do they stay connected? You mentioned that there was really a community there that was important to you as you were going through this.
Yes, I certainly, a lot of our families remain involved and remain connected and as a support system to one another. It really depends on what the family wants to do, but we will always look at them as Wish family and Wish alumni.
That is so exciting. And we'll all have to think about our one wish that we
That's right. It's
want.
a hard thing to do as an adult, but imagine doing it as a 3-year-old or a 10-year-old or even a 16-year-old.
That's amazing. I want to thank my guests this morning. We've been talking about our National Burger Week at National Harbor for Make-A-Wish. And I've been speaking today with Leslie Creedon. She is the president and CEO of Make-A-Wish. She's also a Make-A-Wish mom, a wish mom for her son, Jack, who's now doing well. We're so thankful to hear that. And Deborah Topsick. She's the marketing director at National Harbor. And I just want to give the websites, if you're listening today and you want to head down to National Harbor this week from September 30th through October 6th. It is www.nationalharbor.com/Burger Week. And of course, if you want to get a hold of Make-A-Wish. It's midatlantic.wish.org, and we'll have that information on our website. And I want to thank you both so much for joining me today
Thank you.
on DMV Spotlight on
appreciate it.
ESPN 630, the Sports Capital. And you can check us out online on ESPN630DC.com. I'm Barbara Britt.